Hi, I'm Eric Westrich with Aquilius Innovation Hub, and I'm very excited to have today Dr. Amit Vasada, who is the Chief Science Officer of the Innovative Species Corp. And the reason he's here is we are excited about him being one of the speakers for the AgTech Symposium coming up in June 19th, just a short time away. So, Doctor, first of all, welcome.
Thank you.
So, invasive species, when was the first time you can remember in your mind that you got excited about invasive species? What triggered it? Was it seeing something, hearing something, talking about something, talking to somebody? What was that first conversation you ever had when you realized that invasive species was something you really wanted to spend a good part of your time thinking about?
Well, that's a great question. Invasive species actually came into my sphere of knowledge almost 10 years ago when I started hearing more and more about these mussels, zebra mussels and quagga mussels, which infecting all the lakes and rivers in the US, and they never belonged there. And they came into picture quite some time ago. And we started developing some thoughts around invasive species at that time to see how we can combat that, because that is something that affects the natural flora, natural biodiversity.
And
Uh,
so,
and
what was your biggest challenge in getting involved in invasive species? Was it an easy transition? Did you already know everything you needed to know? Or what was your biggest challenge in pivoting into focusing on that?
well, the biggest challenge was actually working against those species because they are very aggressive and they take up a lot more share of the food and feed that they have in the surrounding and deprive the rest of the normal flora that live there of the food. So the biggest challenge is the amount of invasion that happened in the lakes and rivers, and how do you
Well,
really deal with it?
Doctor, what was your biggest challenge for you personally in getting
Right.
involved in that? Did you have to get up to speed quickly? Did you have to gain new knowledge, new contacts? What was the single biggest challenge you had to overcome to jump in with both feet into
Well,
invasive
the, yeah, the biggest challenge was how to develop technology from what I knew before, and how do I leverage the technologies and the experience that I had to combat something like invasive species, because something I had never done before in my life. And working against those kind of species was a big challenge. So one of the biggest things for me was to take my knowledge and apply um, the microbial technologies to something like this in a vast amount of water, aquatic environments, as opposed to a small agricultural space.
And what was your first big win? When you started this battle and you said, I think we can count this as a win, let's check it off. What was your first big win?
Well, the first big win was to actually demonstrate in a small environment whether we can actually kill these mussels in a laboratory type of situation selectively. So not without affecting the not normal flora of the environment, can we affect these mussels and kill them effectively? That was one of the biggest challenges that we had to overcome.
And what was your biggest setback? Nobody goes into changing the world in a positive way without getting knocked down a few times. What was the biggest punch you took that you were able to get back up from?
Well, one of the first things that came to us, the biggest challenges, was to actually determine whether this can be applied to a very large scale in a lake or not. You can do many things in the laboratory, but the real life situation where vast amount of water is there, the natural environment that you have to deal with, whether it's the temperature and all the water bodies with different types of flora, can we actually work with that environment to overcome the challenge that we try to overcome in the lab? And so can you translate that into a very large scale?
So, what is your status today? If you kind of were to summarize, where you are in your business today, where is Invasive Species Corp?
Right. So our CEO and ex-CFO started this company in order to really commercialize this technology that we had seen. And it was approved by EPA. And now that we are there to solve the problems, such as zebra mussels, the biggest thing for us is to really, how do we innovate to make this technology work in the field? So we are at the stage where we have EPA approval for this product. We have a product that works against this specific mussels, but the main thing is how do you compete with normal things that normal chemicals that people use, such as chlorine and copper and things like that, which are a lot less expensive compared to a biological treatment such as the one we have developed. So it's always a competition with the cost of product and activity. Now, having said that, we know that the biologicals are much more gentle to the environment compared to traditional chemicals that are used. They're very effective, but they can also have adverse effects. Whereas the technology that we have developed is very specific to mussels, not everything else. So, for example, copper, if added at a very large concentration in a river or a lake area, it can also kill other fish, which are recreational fish or food fish, etc. Whereas technology that we use is very innocuous, only for mussels and nothing else.
Okay,
So
so
the cost is a big concern, and that's why we develop it using the latest technologies of science, biotechnology, genomics, etc. We can actually make a more cost-effective product to be able to compete and be environmentally sound.
So one of the challenge entrepreneurs that we always have is there's a lot of people telling us how what we're doing won't work, how we're failing. So we get a lot of negative. So when we get a positive comment or feedback, it's really good. What's the most positive feedback you've gotten from a single person? For example, you did something and somebody said something to you specifically, and you said, I'm on the right track. I'm really proud of what we're doing. What is your best compliment that you've gotten so far, and who'd you get it from?
Well, we get that from best compliments come from a lot of naturalists and
Pick
U.S.
your favorite,
Geological
pick
Survey.
your favorite one.
U.S. Geological Survey, for example, they are inundated with invasive species, and one of the products that they have seen work very effectively is our product, Sequinox.
And what it specifically did they say about you?
They said, well, about me in particular, or the
You or
product?
your product, your company?
Right. So what they said was this product works very effectively. They have never seen anything like this other than traditional chemicals, but this is more environmentally sound and more sustainable. And it's microbial in nature, and we work with dead bacteria, not live bacteria. So there are lots of environmentalists who would be concerned about releasing bacteria, but we're not releasing live bacteria. So there is no reason to worry about overtaking the world with some novel bacteria. But these are the chemicals that are produced by bacteria. So they are very complementary of the technology that we have developed.
So let's get out your crystal ball for the second to last question here. Let's get out your crystal ball. You're looking at it. You're looking ahead 1 to 5 years. What do you think? What is the one thing you think you'll be most proud of that it's going to happen in the next 1 to 5 years?
Wow. So what I've always thought about is how do microbes can solve some of the problems? Okay. One of the things that comes to my mind is, again, zebra mussels. Zebra mussels have taken over not only US, but also Canadian waters. And if we can solve the problem of one lake at a time, within the next 5 years so that we don't have to worry about that in future would be one of the biggest accomplishments that I would be very proud of.
Okay, Dr. Vasavada, the most important question. If somebody wants to learn more about you and what you do, where is the best place for them to go?
I would say LinkedIn. Go to LinkedIn, look at the profile, and all the work that I've personally done, but there's never work that is done by a single individual. It takes an army to get things done. And I've been very proud of the professional development that I have gained over the years, 35 plus years. So LinkedIn would be a first place to go. And after that, it's personal communication as much
So they
as
should go to LinkedIn and look up Amit, A-M-I-T, Vasavada, V-A-S-A-V-A-D-A, and go ahead and connect with you and have a personal conversation.
Yes, absolutely.
So Dr. Meet Vasavada, thank you so much for your time. We really look forward to seeing you at the Ag Tech Symposium. And for those that come, you'll not only be able to hear Dr. Vasavada, but meet him in person.
Perfect. Thank you. Looking forward to that.
Thank you.